What if you're planning for one of the happiest moments of your life, having a baby, only to realize that your health insurance doesn't cover maternity expenses when you need it most? Pregnancy, delivery, and newborn care can cost lakhs of rupees, and many people only discover the gaps in their health insurance coverage when it's already too late. Most people assume that their regular health insurance policy will take care of maternity costs. But here's the truth. Many policies have waiting periods of 2 to 4 years before you can claim maternity benefits. If you wait until pregnancy to think about it, you've already missed the opportunity to get coverage. By the time you need it, you won't qualify. Now imagine this. You've just welcomed your baby into the world. It's a moment of pure joy, filled with love, excitement, and new beginnings. But then the hospital hands you a bill. Rs 2 lakhs, Rs 3 lakhs, maybe more. You weren't expecting this. You thought your insurance would cover it. But because you didn't plan ahead, you now have to pay everything out of pocket. The joy of new parenthood is suddenly overshadowed by financial stress. This situation happens more often than you'd think. And the worst part? It's entirely preventable. Maternity coverage in health insurance is one of the most overlooked aspects of financial planning. Most people don't think about it until they're expecting a baby. But by then it's too late. Insurance companies treat pregnancy as a pre-existing condition, meaning that if you don't already have a policy in place before conception, your maternity expenses will not be covered. This is why planning ahead is crucial. If you secure a maternity-inclusive health insurance policy early, before you start actively planning for a family, you ensure that when the time comes, you won't have to worry about medical bills. Instead, you can focus on what truly matters: welcoming your child into a world of love and security. The biggest mistake people make is assuming they can buy maternity coverage when they need it. But most health insurance policies impose waiting periods of 2 to 4 years. That means if you buy a policy today, you can only claim maternity benefits after completing this waiting period. If you wait until you're already pregnant, it's too late. You'll have to bear all the costs out of pocket. Think of it like planting a tree. You can't wait until you're desperate for shade to plant one. You need to plant it years in advance, so it's there when you need it. The same applies to maternity coverage. You have to plan ahead. The cost of maternity care can be surprisingly high. Depending on the hospital and city, expenses for prenatal care, delivery, and postnatal care can range anywhere from Rs 1.5 lakhs to Rs 5 lakhs or more. If you experience complications or require a C-section, the costs can escalate even further. Without maternity coverage, all of this will have to come from your savings. The smarter approach is to choose a health insurance plan that includes maternity benefits well in advance. This way, when the time comes, you don't have to stress about medical bills. You can simply focus on your baby and your family's well-being. Now, let's talk about what to look for in a maternity-inclusive health insurance policy. Many policies claim to offer maternity benefits, but not all of them provide comprehensive coverage. Some have caps on maternity expenses, meaning they only cover a fraction of the actual cost. Others don't cover complications or newborn care. When selecting a policy, don't just look at the premium cost. Look at the actual benefits. Check if it covers prenatal consultations, ultrasounds, hospital stays, normal and C-section deliveries, and postnatal care. Make sure the coverage amount is sufficient to handle real hospital expenses. Also, see if the policy covers newborn medical expenses, vaccinations, and any potential NICU stays, in case your baby needs extra medical attention after birth. Many people also rely solely on employer-provided health insurance, assuming it will be enough. But employer policies can change, and if you switch jobs, you might lose your coverage altogether. Having an independent maternity-inclusive health insurance plan guarantees that your coverage is not tied to your job, giving you stability no matter what happens in your career. I once had a client who thought his employer's health insurance policy covered maternity expenses. But when his wife was expecting, they found out that the employer plan had a maternity cap of just Rs 50,000. Their hospital bill came to Rs 2.5 lakhs, meaning they had to pay Rs 2 lakhs from their own pocket. If they had taken an independent policy 2 years earlier, they could have avoided this financial burden altogether. This is why it's so important to read the fine print before you assume you're covered. The best time to get maternity coverage is before you need it. The second best time is right now. Another common misconception is that maternity coverage is only important if you're planning a child soon. But what if plans change? What if you decide to start a family earlier than expected? What if an unplanned pregnancy happens? Having maternity coverage in place ensures that no matter what, you're financially prepared. The cost of inaction is high. If you delay getting maternity-inclusive health insurance, you could face high medical bills at a time when you have other financial responsibilities. A waiting period that prevents you from claiming benefits when you need them. Rising insurance premiums as you grow older, making coverage more expensive later. Then the risk of job changes affecting employer-provided insurance, leaving you unprotected. And if you think you'll just pay for everything out of pocket, consider this. What if complications arise? What if your newborn requires special care? These expenses can escalate quickly, turning what should be a joyful experience into a financial crisis. Maternity coverage in health insurance is not an extra. It's a necessity. It's a way to protect yourself from unexpected costs and ensure your baby gets the best medical care possible. The best financial decisions are the ones that remove uncertainty from your future. And maternity coverage does exactly that. If you're serious about making sure you have the right health insurance plan, I invite you to join my exclusive WhatsApp community. Inside, I share real-time insights, expert guidance, and step-by-step strategies to help you choose the best maternity-inclusive health insurance policy for your needs. You'll get access to financial planning tips, policy comparisons, and answers to all your questions, so you can make an informed decision with confidence. Click the link in the description to join now. Let's ensure you're financially prepared for one of life's most important and joyful journeys. Because when it comes to maternity coverage, early